Hello, everyone, and welcome back to UK University Valorant. I am Rook, and I'm joined yet again by Hanno, and I have Brunel Zeros versus Pompey Nooborant. That is Brunel versus Portsmouth coming up for you here on Bine. We're looking to get into game as soon as we possibly can, as we're right now in agent picks.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing again. I believe this is Group D that we're looking at here. I believe. I didn't actually check that before. I probably should have done. But this should be a good game. We came off a brilliant last game. Honestly, really, really close. 13-11 with a brilliant play at the end there. Group B, sorry, I think this is. That was an exhilarating game. Hopefully, we can repeat that again coming into this second game of the night, and unfortunately, the last game of the night today for the tournament.
Indeed, it is. Here on Bind, definitely looking at players to make a lot of those big flanks, look for those TP opportunities.
Of course.
As we will be loading on in. I'm just interested to see what agents they're really going to bring out, because we saw a lack of information gathering, surprisingly, from the winning side of the last match.
Yeah. Okay, so going again, we do have the Sage on both teams. Now, the Sage had a 98% pick rate last time. On Thursday. Interestingly enough, we do, as you say, have a Viper coming out on the attacking side. Now, Rook and I were discussing this before the stream about who we think is the worst agent in all of Valorant. Now, I think it's Viper, and he thinks it's Omen. So
I actually don't think it's Omen. I think Raze is worse, but I think Viper is better than Omen. But that's another can of worms.
Well, I'm interested to see how this Viper can do this game then. This will be the trial by fire.
Indeed, I actually think this is one of Viper's best maps because of the setup you can really go here. Baldridge trying to find the shot as the Viper opens up with the first frag. Monkey see, monkey do, as Gorilla takes down Speedoka. However, the rotates are coming on in as he flanks ADC Senpai, and they will be going down. The attackers off to a roaring start right now, as Hazzy will move back into Hook to catch players off guard, and the rest of the players, they're all just roaming straight through CT. And with the utility there, it's going to be hard for them to push on in this position. They have these smokes going down. Gorilla is going to get healed back up and everything, so needs to be careful, however, because there are players roaming, looking to flank through elbow. 6 will take down Sainaru. That is a big opportunity as the wall of the Viper making massive problems for them. 6 just walks on through it, apparently, however, as he will look to make something happen, but 6 with that 4K, and we have seen some high fragging Brimstone so far, and 6 is already one.
I mean, yeah, if you were watching the interview at the end of the last game, Tata did say that Brimstone is just one of the most all-rounded characters in the game, and from that first round, you can see it again, able to use his utility to just force his way into sight there and pick up 4 frags. It's really, really good play from Brimstone. So Defenders winning the first round. Obviously, we think that this game is slightly Defender-sided, so Defenders picking up the first round isn't unheard of, but it's pretty much all down to 6 with that 4K, rather than any sort of team advantage there.
Yeah, because actually the attackers, with a fantastic start to that round, really just destroyed any semblance of play coming up from them. Aggressive push through Hooker here will be backed up by Speedoka. The Jet will have to retreat. That is going to be another B attack as the rest of the A team are going to rotate. Hazzy will go down. Sainaru picks up ADC Senpai as they burst onto site. Baldridge will be able to get that plant. Playing from elbow here, looking to catch a couple more players, really holding them back in position. Will be forced away from his own. Now looking to continue to make these plays. 6 looking to continue to add to that plethora of flags. Spooky. Don't find this first frag. 6 will find theirs. Indeed. Oh my god, the breach, putting them in such an awkward position. The peak will come on through. Spooky will finish off them. And I mean, that's an AFK Brimstone, unfortunately, for the defender.
Yeah. We are not sure what's happened there, but that is unfortunate for the attackers there who were pushing in a man down. Very unfortunate for them. Although they were still able to get the site with a rather weak buy, which is doesn't bode well for the defending side if they, with a full SMG and a couple of rifle buy there, can't defend against just a couple of frenzies, I think it was, and classics from the attackers. I believe that Brimstone is still going to be AFK, so probably some internet issues from him. Going to be a 4 versus 5 for this round at least.
Yeah, and into rifles, it's going to make it all the more difficult. Hoping to grab this, but eats a lot of damage for it. It's going to put down some of their utility, looking to make rumblings on the A site here. We'll get healed back up and continue to hold this position. Gorilla setting up for these Viper smokes, which can be oh so devastating and cutting the site in half. A recon arrow coming through, trying to make sure there's no one on B as that last player is looking to rotate. You see something on the flank. They're going to make something happen here. It's the stem. We'll put them in a good position. ADZ misses the first shot, but the second does land. Seinaru caught off guard. Spooky taking a lot of damage here, but with that slow orb, will be stuck in place, and his own team forces them to their doom. However, a spray through 6 finds Hazy. They'll go down to Gorilla. Gorilla falls again. The attackers right now are on site. They have that plant. However, it is a 1 versus 2 because of that DC, and that is going to make things real darn difficult. Baldridge does manage to escape to U-Haul, and this could be exactly what they need. They do not know what this player is. Spidoka is going to try and move on out. ADC Senpai baiting for that defuse. Baldridge in position, finds the headshot. That is what you need. Spidoka doesn't stick the plant. Baldridge continuing to try and make these plays. Looking for the defuse. He will get it because they had that half already completed. Doesn't find it. Baldridge finds the full 3.
But he really wasn't expecting that 50% to already be done there. Maybe he wasn't aware that the Sage had stuck it or whatever, but he didn't really expect Spidoka to be able to defuse that quickly, which is unfortunate for him. I mean, if they would have had the Brimstone, I think they would have won these last 2 rounds. They really almost had both of them. But unfortunately, that's the situation they're given, and it is going to be a 4v5. Got some ultimates already, 6. See how well he can use that Brimstone. Obviously, last game we saw 2 double kills with that Brimstone ultimate, which is really good darn effective.
That it certainly is. And I mean, even the Alpha Brave brought on out. And as you say, the attacking side really finding these frags all over the place, taking advantages earlier, putting themselves in such a good position, but with this man disadvantage, it's not looking so hot for them. Gorilla will lead the charge on in here, but holding the angle, misses it, unfortunately. And with the smokes going towards them, we do see the Brimstone using that health bar to try and come back, but doesn't find anything. So much damage onto Gorilla right now. Hazy will hold the line as he just pushes on into A site, finds frags all over the place. Spidoka now in this elbow position, starting to push on out. Looking to catch someone, but they're all in such good positions in the post plant. Smokes are all in CT. He no scope onto Baldridge. That's exactly what you need to see, and it is a 1 versus 2. 6 will find the frag as Hazy does try and contest it, but yet again, because of the lack of player, the attackers just not able to.
Yeah, I mean, just in all of these scenarios they've had so far, that one extra player really gives them a bit of an advantage. But yeah, we're going to see Pompey Nooborant on the defense here with a 4-round lead. It's really good for them. Although every single one of these rounds, the attackers have managed to make it onto site and get that plant down, which still hasn't managed to secure them around, but is pretty important for them because getting onto that site is the first stage of winning a round. But they're not managing to quite finish it off quite yet.
Indeed they aren't, especially with 6 finding 9 frags in 4 rounds. That's an over 2 KPR. Absolutely massive. Obviously that 4K in round 1 certainly helped, but it's been dominant so far. Spooky has the ultimate, so won't be trying to go for that orb as of yet. ADC Senpai not looking to play all too aggressive as they have taken a lot of damage. They don't want to overextend, get caught out, put themselves at a deficit, and make more work for the rest of the team. Seinaru? So far their wall has not been contested. They hear that someone's attempting to push on up here. Gorilla gonna be setting up these walls that we both agreed oh so important for the way these Vipers will be playing. Spooky set up here. The breach will try and contest. This is the wall. Hasn't been activated yet. Defenders still milling around. 40 seconds on the clock for the attackers. They need to start making it happen. The utility is starting to be expended. Spooky looking to use this ultimate, trying to make something happen with the fault line, but the execute, it's on B. They were not expecting this. All of the utility expended on A. Gorilla even makes the push on their own. Sainaru takes down the player in elbow, takes control of this B site, and they get that plant. This post plant is going to be oh so important for them. Hazy holding the angle, expecting the push, runs it back, gets the first, looking for that little bit more, pushes on out. Sainaru falls on the site. However, Hazy will find more than enough. 6 continuing that fragging spree. It is going to be 2 versus 1 now. It's all down to Hazy and being zoned off by the Hellfire. With the defuse coming on in, there is nothing you can do here. And Hazy, he's well aware.
Again, 6 just really taking all of the frags that his team needs, forcing Hazy off with the ult, some brilliant utility usage. Even though the attackers had a brilliant read on the defenders there, using that utility. I mean, that's an aspect of Viper that we didn't discuss when we were talking about who some of the worst agents in this game are, is the fact that Viper setup, it's just so convincing. Because you can't move that E and you can't move that Q, the fact they both come onto A site, you just assume it's going to be an A execute. You rotate your players around, and then suddenly all the attackers are on B site, planting the spike. And again, they lose due to the man disadvantage, which is so unfortunate for them. It's 5-0 though for the defenders here. Pompey, Nooborant looking strong in this first half.
Certainly, honestly, it bodes well at least for Brunel when they get their final player back, because I know for a fact Mzuu definitely can put up those numbers. I've seen them in some of these pugs, and I'm definitely looking to them to be pretty impactful. The issue is, obviously, is that they're back. They've got to actually make up these couple of rounds. Continue to move on in. They were checking actually before the spawn. However, Mzuu is caught off guard. Speedoka does find that. However, Gorilla playing perfectly there, finds the 2K. Fortunately, 6 continues to put up those numbers. It will be ADC Senpai looking for that flank as the defuse, as the spike does manage to go down from Sainaru. However, they need to be careful because it's Bath's player looking to catch them. ADC Senpai holding the angle her with a slow orb. Won't give us their position quite yet. They haven't walked through it, but will slow them down, as well, obviously the name suggests. ADC Senpai starting to move onto site. Still walking. No one's heard them yet. But Hazy was watching the cross and picked up the first round for this Brunel side. And, what a sweet round, honestly, for them.
The very first round that the Brimstone comes back, they win. Even though he didn't make a huge amount of impact, just having that extra body on the map is such an advantage. Hazy with 9 kills there, 6 topping him though with 13 in just 6 rounds, keeping his 2 KPR there. A lot of credits on the attacking side here now. The defenders, even though they won so many rounds in a row, going to be pretty low because again, the attackers managed to get on site every single time and knock out a lot of their players before losing, which is pretty vital for keeping the economy on the defending side here low.
It is. Sainaru. Not finding anything yet, but now with Mzuu back, they're going to have access to those smokes, and we both agree. And we agree with Taha in that interview. Brimstone, really important to a lot of teams. There's a reason you're seeing with such a high pick rate. Not quite obviously the Sage, but he has been seen in basically every single game, at least on one side or the other. Sainaru on through, but waiting for that smoke to pop so they can really play. 6 with a big mistake, and now with that big fragger off the board, Sainaru swaps back, still has enough time to take down Captain Monkey. Sure, Gorilla will fall. However, this is a big opportunity. Speedoka trying to find someone, but with Sainaru and Yuhor, they do go down. And another round prick picked up by Brunel Zeros.
Yeah, unfortunate there. The attackers taking out so many members of the defending scene as they push on there. Sainaru himself with just brilliant play there. That kill onto 6 pretty much secures the round for the attackers there. So he is solo carrying almost the entire defending side. Most of those round wins they had there, that being retakes from 6, where he individually managed to take 3 or 4 of the attackers down there, securing the round for them. But when he goes down early like that, it's a lot harder to win those rounds.
Yeah, when you've got that crutch of such an important player, if you lose them, I mean, things start to just topple out from underneath you, and it's not like those rounds that they lost weren't close and they weren't down one player the entire time. You need to be careful because Brunel Zeros, they started off 5-0, and they are not going down without fight. They want to win this, and damn well they have the power to do so.
Yeah, looking towards a bit of an A setup here. The Viper chucking her a little globule down there. But we've still got players spread across the map.
We have Spooky forced up that position by said globule. Bit of a difficult word to say sometimes, but yeah. Azzy looking to set up for this molly. Trying to force people out with that hot hands. Spooky, very much aware, going to flash himself on in, but the utility's still there from stopping him from really making an impact. But it is going to be a setup for this, and Zuo is going to force a player out if they're playing in position. But right now, they're just going to move on in. Spooky does go down, but Speedoka holding well. Sainaru and the gang still continuing to get that B plant. And now the retake 3 versus 4 going to be difficult for the defense. Especially if Gorilla is waiting in the wings and picks up Captain.
Yeah, that's brilliant play. Again, they pulled out that setup on A, faked them out, and now it's 6 on the retake.
They call him 6 because he has the strength of 6 men and has been oh so impactful in this one. Shut down again by Sainaru.
Speedoka with the only 2 kills this round so far with that operator. It's going to be an easy round for the defenders, the attackers, sorry, here.
Make it 3. Not going to be able to pick up the round, but some solid play on the whole. And honestly, one of the best oppas we've really seen using. That was a brilliant play there from Baldridge. That's exactly how you beat those operator players. If they miss that first shot, they're dead.
Yeah, I mean, probably a more experienced operator player would have held the shot once he realized the dash was coming out. But seeing them come around the corner at such speed, your instinct is to flick. But I doubt you're going to hit that shot onto a jet very easily. Gonna have a bit of a rough buy for the defenders here. Gonna be on SMGs, 1 Vandal and a Marshal here. Probably not going to do a huge amount with those, but we'll see. Operator and 4 rifles on the attacking side, looking to take back the momentum here with 3 rounds in a row. To continue the momentum, sorry.
Here they are. Azzy. Trying to use that ultimate to sorry, no, it is? Okay, sorry. I was confused for a second there. 6 does manage to force him back, and as a result, not able to find all too much. Do you hear the jet? Popping that ultimate there. Hasn't made any impact as of yet. The defense. Jet actually looking for that flank. Keep an eye on the flag, because it could be important. Zuo finds the frag onto Captain Pompey. Spooky falls as well. 6. Oh, so low in U-Hauls here, trying to make the big flank. Finds 1. That's a nice one. Baldridge will fall, but Sainaru, again, absolutely on it. The bane of 6 in this match so far. The res comes on through from Sainaru, and they are looking to string together 4 rounds in a row, catching up oh so quickly with the defense that had been impenetrable to them before.
Yeah, well, we were discussing that 5th player was the only thing really holding them back in these rounds. Every round they got on site, every round they got the spike down, and it was just those retakes that fell apart. And now that they're picking off 6 and they've got that 5th man to turn these fights in their favor, it's really turning around for Brunel here.
I want to point out, by the way, that they were executing onto sites without a brimstone. So they were just popping, just like ADC Senpai is popping there. Finds a 3K at the end of the round, basically handed to them on a silver platter.
Yeah, I mean, I believe one of the attackers there did check, but didn't really check it fully, that angle there, and they lost 3 men because of it. Bring back to 5-4. So the attackers now managing to pull this game back pretty close here. If they continue like this, it's going to be a lot of rounds for them in this half.
That it is, and I'm interested to see, honestly, after the half change, with 5 players, just how dominant Brunel is. They have just been impressive so far. 6 trying to find something with the spray through the smoke, but doesn't find anything more than a little bit of damage. Spooky, holding a different angle towards that bathrooms this time. As honestly, I expect to see another rotate towards this B side. This has been a staple set play, honestly, for the attackers.
Yeah, it's sort of been their default here, really, and it's been really, really effective so far. The defenders with 3 towards A here, so a B push could be quite nice for them, as long as they leave that 1 player Gorilla here watching Teleporter.
Gorilla eats a bit of damage, and they know there's still a player here. So this 2 players execute onto the site is really impressive, and they're making it work. Sure, they're losing a couple of players, but they're trading it for the pressure that they are just given to. It's just given to them on a silver platter whenever they push this A site. However, seems like the defenders have widened up. They've already got some players sitting on back of site. However, they are not long for this world. They are executed in short order. Hazy tries to finish off this final play, but Captain Pumpkin goes down to 1. Backup is there from 6, but with the hot hands, it's just going to run on through. That is so aggressive, and Hazy tries to turn in time, but 6 still manages to finish him off. However, with 3 players versus 3, and with Baldridge holding that angle, it's going to be difficult to make this push on. Six finds another frag, but Seinaru yet again shuts them down. 5 to 5 on a huge win streak right now.
Yeah, first 5 rounds going towards the defending side, and now the second 5 towards the attackers. This is a very momentum-based game here. Obviously, that 5th player bringing probably a little bit of morale back to the team, as well as some extra skill there. Still at the bottom of the leaderboard, but he's clearly had an effect. If there's won every single round that he's really been here for, apart from that very first one. 6, though, with 17 kills. This player is really dominating this half, but he's not quite able to carry his team here.
I mean, he's been shot down in a couple of these rounds right now because Seinaru just seems to have that number. And if they can deal with that, then they can look at taking him towards a couple of these rounds. But 5 rounds, not the worst to have on your half. But defensive-sided, obviously, so you want to pick up a couple more. Has he?
Yeah.
Flashes himself on it. No one contesting that angle, but 3 players on A. 6 this time, waiting on B, trying to thwart that push before it even begins.
Has he repeating the same play from last round?
Get shut down. ADC did have that one. The Sheriff coming up trumps here right now. Spike is still on A. Rotates abound, and I think that the attackers really need to get the heck out of here. Spooky takes so much damage, even dies as Mzuu uses that Molotov to great effect, and this is going to be that rotate. They should have heard it from the teleporter, and we do see players already moving back over there. However, I don't think they have time because they're already on site. Gorilla is in position. All of the utility is there, and that is the power of this Viper. Already set up, already. Seinaru continuing to find frag after frag. 2 versus 3 on the retake, but it is 6. And Captain Pumpkin, and with Seinaru dead, that's definitely an opportunity to find something a little bit more. However, Captain Pumpkin tries to repeat, gets taken down, and Gorilla will finish off this.
Yeah, bringing the attackers ahead for the very first time this half. 6-5 going into the last round. Similar to last game here, attackers pulling ahead towards the very, very end of that first round, of that first half here. Seinaru and Hazy really popping off in this second half of this first half, securing 14 and 12 kills respectively here. We're going to see 3 ults though on the defending side. That Brimstone ult and that Sova ult going to be able to be hopefully super effective this round and hold these sites much better than they did last round.
And I think moving 6 over here is a really important decision. I love this wall from Captain Pumpkin as well. It allows them to play aggressive and really cut them off. That's a big ultimate going to force them and split up the team. Seinaru is still waiting in position. Trying to catch him off guard. Finds the headshot, however. Senpai is able to cover that one up. 6 finds a frag, finds the spike. It's 3 versus 3 Gorilla. Really starting to show up. Has been playing the decoy on the A site, but able to find those big shots where they need to. Mzuu misses that first shot, and from there it's all downhill. Hazy, the fate of this round rests on their shoulders. Doesn't want to go into the half. Even Stevens wants to take this all the way to the bank. 6 is holding the angle, takes a wall bang to the stomach. Will retreat on back as the stim pack is going to throw that one over. Hazy making sure no one's pushing in. holding those aggressive positions. Rocks on in, finishes off 6. Now, last player towards CT, Hazy, will get that spike down. Yoka trying to find something with those wallbangs. Won't find a thing, and now with the repeat coming on through, Hazy holding the angle. There it is, that is the run in back, trying to find that shot, and now Spidoka trying to rotate on back. However, you see Hazy doing the exact same thing, holding the position, knowing exactly where he's going to be. Spidoka misses, and 7-5 after losing 5 rounds in a row due to a DC player. Brunel proving they're heroes, not zero.
Yeah, that was brilliant play there. I mean, all down to Hazy in a 1v2 there, and he pulls that out. That's going to be really demoralizing for well, what was the defending side and what will now be the attacking side here. Really demoralizing if they lose that last round there. Only taking the very first 5 rounds of the game and had no success since. It's going to be really hard for them to go into this half with a fresh mind and try and, you know, play it differently and take out this dominant Brunel side this game. Brunel playing, you know, a 2-3 split here. That teleporter on A just means you put the extra man there just so you can get that faster rotate out if you need through that teleporter. But splitting up 2 members pushing towards showers and 3 towards B long. It's an interesting plan of attack here.
That certainly is. We've seen a lot of defense Achilles heel for this defending, sorry, for the opposite side. They're going to rotate straight away, however, as soon as they expect these rotates have come on in. However, waiting just around the corner, they need to be careful. Gorilla will fall. Baldridge continues to hold the position for the rest of their team. Captain Pumpkin heading straight towards U-Haul here. Baldridge falling. It is 3 versus 3. Sinara to push on up. We don't know where the player is. Will get the one in U-Haul, dealing a lot of damage to them. However, this utility doing so much. Good shot. And Zuu gonna try and find that last one, but it will be Seinaru picking it on up. And 8-5. Haven't lost a round in 8 rounds straight.
Now, this is really impressive from Brunel here. Once they have their full 5-man, they're not losing a round. That round, you could say it was close, but Mzuu there still with full HP and Seinaru low, but not on death's door quite. Yeah, looking at a pretty standard buy here. Yeah, SMGs from all of them. Baldridge going to take that scout. We've seen him AWPing and scouting quite a bit this game. The attacking side going to be on a lot weaker here with pistols, ghosts, and not much else really. They're going to be looking for a B short push here. 3 players towards A. This could be the correct call.
I think stacking towards this B site has been so impressive for a lot of these teams, but the ball from Seinaru is going to force him to do something. Seinaru, he sees all those players. It's like, you know what? I'm okay. I'm not going to go for this. No teleport as of yet. Molotov doing a lot of work. Hazy finding damage. Seinaru as well as these SMGs, the 2 players on the B side, rip through. Absolutely fantastic.
Those are the 2 players you don't want to meet on Brunel's side. I mean, Seinaru and Hazard are top fraggers on their teams. Both of them being on this B site during that execute is really not going to be fun for the attackers there, who are going to get absolutely roasted by just 2 players there. That wall from Seinaru was really, really nice. Able to catch the information on all 5 players. Really helps out that defense there. They know it's safe to rotate because there is no teleporter from B short to A. It's a one-way street.
Now we're seeing a bit more of a default. More aggressive. Real far up. When Zuu gets full flash, we'll be able to escape the U-Haul. Same can't be said for Baldridge, but with the molly, they're going to keep them back at least a little bit. Will trade back and forth. Zuu finds the first, but won't find the second. It's the 2 players from B who decimated them in the previous round. 6 will shut down Seinaru. That's exactly what you need to see. Hazy still going to try and make these plays, but with the smokes coming in, it's going to be very difficult to actually make it. Gets a spray down, doesn't quite find the kill, but finally a round picked up for the attackers.
Yeah, Pompey and Nooborant there with their very first round of the last 10 rounds there, which is not going to be very fun for them. But now that they have got this round, maybe they can build that momentum going in. You know, this is the 3rd round of the second half. They could really look to build up momentum, build up that economy, and start to turn around this game. They're still 3 rounds behind Brunel here, so they've still got some work to do.
Yeah. Gonna be buy from the attackers. Lose their first player, lose their second player, as Baldridge in a very aggressive position does. Even manages to take down 6 there. Sure, they take down Mzuru, now with no Brimstone on the field. Things a lot less smoky, but still in a very difficult position. They almost find a fragment of Baldridge to kind of bring things a little bit more in line, but some deft dodging, even though he was unaware, means that it is 4 versus 2. Moving to the B side ain't going to bode too well for you either, as it has been very difficult for them to push on in. Against one player, it might be their only shot.
Yeah, in a 4v2 here, it's going to be difficult for these attackers to really make any gains on any of these sites here. Only one defender towards B. That's the only opportunity they really have here. But they are looking back towards A here. They're bringing the spike with them. They are looking like they're going to execute here.
Execute. They certainly will. Utility just about to come on through, I assume. They have the recon arrow, so they should definitely be putting that down. Just dashes on through. However, Baldridge quickly stops Spidokwa, and this means that Senpai will be able to take them down in response. But 1 versus 3, with the rotates coming in full force, this could be hard, especially since Gorilla finds that frag. Potentially looking for a rotate was ADC Senpai, but 10-6.
Yeah, Brunel, 4 rounds ahead. This is looking less and less likely for the Pompey side here, who are really struggling to take many rounds off this side. Sinaru and Hazi with a lot of kills. Sinaru breaking the 20 kill mark there. 6, he's broken it as well. But the rest of his team really falling behind here.
Yeah, really unable to keep pace, and that proves and shows why this game is so team-led. You need to be absolutely on the same page and all able to frag. Just like Hazi, as he finds a 2-for-1. He takes down 6 and Captain Pumpkin. Spooky will cover that retreat, but they're certainly licking their wounds after that one, especially because Senpai falls as they try to make aggression onto that B bathrooms.
Speedoka picks up a kill there, but it's not going to do much. They're still in a 4v2. Hazi still alive because that was a run it back, so they really lost nothing to take out 2 players from the attackers there. It's going to be a hard round.
Gorilla holding that A site on their own has a lot of utility to kind of work with us even later into these rounds, as they can just reuse absolutely everything they throw down. It's going to be a repeat push towards the A site. They were looking for this B, but decided against it. Really nice setup there. Keep an eye on that from Gorilla. A lot of these Viper players have been trying to pick that one on up. Speedoka. Not sure he's going to push through because it feels like their rotate has already been sniffed out. It's all in the hands of Gorilla. They need to find this first frag onto them, and then from there really start to pressure things on down. Spooky doesn't have much time to move on in. Will be looking to flash himself. Push on in, but anything. A nice spray there from Gorilla. Finds the first. But Spooky is on site. Doesn't know where the rest of them are. Doesn't look towards U-Haul. And as a result, has taken damage. Needs to go for this plant. Flash comes on in. Hazi will finish that one on off. And 11-6. Ever so close to that match point.
That Viper really held down that A side there really effectively. Taking a free kill on towards Showers there with the poison globe, really blocking off any vision that the attackers could gain there, and she had a one-way there. Again, looking like the attackers are going to default to all 5 of them pushing B short here. Could be a bit risky here as they have a rough buy. Ghosts, Spectres, Stingers, and 1 Bulldog. It's all they've got. The wall's going to go up from Steinery though.
Steinery doesn't spot anyone out, but the wall is still going to be a hindrance and most likely going to eat a couple of those bullets if they're going to try and push on through that, but it might just make them reevaluate their decision. Spooky decides with the rest of the team they're going to try their luck in a little bit of a different setup. Still looking towards this B site, however. Pushing long instead. So the ultimate come on in. They're going to destroy that wall in the meantime. Recon Arrow doesn't find anything. Has he? He's waiting in this position. The Jet dives on past and gives them the opportunity. Sainaru holds strong as Hazi falls. And is 1 versus 2 on the site. Going to heal themselves back on up as a player towards elbow. He's going to slow orb them on off. Will go down to Captain Pumpkin spray with the backup of that Hunter's Fury. And Captain Pumpkin gonna go for that spike plant. The wall. He's in a good position, but now has kept himself split off from the rest of the team. And Zuu will find the frags and now match point as Brunel are just, they're on attack.
I mean, that is very impressive from them. The moment they got their 5th player back, Pompey has been unable to get any more out. Well, bar the 1/3 round from this. They've just been losing rounds left, right, and center. I think it's very easily going to be a Brunel game here with Pompey needing 7 rounds in a row to clutch this out. It's going to be very difficult for them, especially as this round, they're not on a good buy. After forcing out that last round, they've got a similar buy with 2 rifles, a Bulldog, and 2 SMGs.
This is going to be another attempt. Baldridge getting headshot into ADC Senpai, and I have to agree, honestly. You like making those easy bets, as this one is certainly looked like a done deal. 6 falls, does get traded out for Gorilla, but the ultimate forces them on back. A good couple of frags from the attacking side, despite their lack of buy. And Zuu to hold the angle, expecting a player. Hobby towards here, but doesn't find the frag. Spioka takes a lot of damage. The res is also important. It's 1 versus 3 now. As Sainaru looking for an opportunity to res of their own. As the spike rotates away from the site. Sainaru will be able to get it off. And there is a player in bathrooms here. They will not catch them. They'll catch Sainaru instead. Senpai will find that one. ADC proving that they are indeed quite the marksman. Zuu is going to go for that rotate. It's 1 versus 2 yet again. Captain Pumpkin is in that hooker position. Zuu making sure no one's really going to hold them back from here. But that wall buys a lot of time, gives away position, and with the slow orb, I don't even know if Zuu can actually make them.
He's going to have a difficult time of it, certainly.
Zuu tries to push on in, takes a lot of damage for him with the time ticking away. Zuu finds the first. I thought he almost had that, but Captain Pumpkin, ever ready to refrag, will pick up their team that round, and it's 7-12. I mean, it's definitely possible for Pompey Nooborant, but they're really going to have to pull it out of the bag.
I mean, if they do manage, if they were looking to get those 7 rounds in a row, that was the least likely round they were going to get there. With such a rough buy, it really didn't look like they were going to be able to get it, but they managed to get a lot of really nice trades there, and that rotate towards the B site gave them the round. Hazi does have his ult up. We've seen him use it effectively.
Joke's over! You're dead!
Baldridge catches 1, catches 2, catches 3. One more. Baldridge puts a stop to any sort of shenanigans. Spike down as well. Smoke's going everywhere. Viper's pit in full force on bathrooms. They are throwing everything from the playbook here. The fault line is ready, sure, for the breach of Pompey Nooborant, but what is it gonna do here? He's gonna try and force them off mid, but this is just making them even more greedy for that frag. Spooky will shut down Baldridge, but Mzuu is there to back on up. It's Senpai versus this the Viper, and inside Viper's pit, you're never finding it.
There we go. Brunel taking the victory there, 13-7, only losing 2 rounds in that second half, or even after the very first 5 rounds, they only lost 2 rounds. It's very impressive from them. Clearly their team as 5 works really well together. Mzuu, even though he wasn't there for 5 rounds, still managed to pick up 14 kills. That's really impressive from him.
Indeed it is. I mean, honestly, real solid play across the board from these, generally just from Brunel. I mean, 6 put up a fantastic performance, but it just was not enough. I mean, had in the start of that match multiple KPR in terms of like 2, maybe even 3, I believe at one point, as he just was fragging out left, right, and center. I really don't know like what more he could have done. And unfortunately, because the rest of the team wasn't on the same page, we saw that kind of massive steamroll as soon as they got all five.
Yeah, I
From
mean,
Brunel.
six, he's able to deal with four players. He's able to deal with those 1v3 retakes. He's able to deal with 1v2s, 1v4s. But once you add that fifth player in, it's just a little bit too much. More angles are being held. There's more potential for trades, and it's just that little bit harder to carry um, for him there. So he's going to go down 13-7. I believe we should be getting in an interview very shortly. We should be getting Sinaru uh, very, very shortly to talk about his team winning that in such a convincing fashion. That himself getting 22 frags.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I have a question for you. Is it Sainaru or Sinaru, or
I
how do you say it?
I hear this like I used to play in USL for Siege.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
I
say
recognize
however
the
you want.
name.
Yeah, just say however you want. I don't think I know how to pronounce it honestly.
That's pretty relatable. I
So
have
just
people
yeah.
call me Rook Rock, Roke even. I've had some weird names, so I definitely understand. I mean, let's talk about your team because after you got that player
Ooh.
back, what a steamroll!
Like when we lost our player, our mentality kind of dropped. Like because our team comp works with all of our players in certain positions, and obviously one missing, it really doesn't work together at all. But once you obviously got him back, just back to our normal games.
He was, and I mean, Brimstone obviously such a key
Yeah,
agent to really
Oh
bring in these
yeah.
setups on attack,
100%.
and you still managed to like have some fantastic executes even without that. What do you say was the really important thing for you to find such great executes onto the B side there?
So for the last couple of days, me and Gorilla, we've been like testing out specific bind strats of Viper, and especially like last night, we just put all our little stuff that we know, like the one ways, the walls, all that, into practice. And then with the team, we've actually played for a while. Like me, Ems have played in Siege for quite a while, and they played in CS for a while. Like the team chemistry is already there. It's just putting all the stuff we practice into action.
So, um, I mean, talking about specific Viper stuff, you were doing a
Yeah.
lot of kind of distraction pushes onto
Yeah.
A. What's up with that? Is that something you feel is really strong in this game?
So the biggest weakness people saw about Viper was that it's kind of obvious where you're hitting because you can just deploy your walls and they'll see it on the floor, right? That's the thing is with that you can also use it to just manipulate what your opponents will think. So the idea is, oh, we're hitting A, okay, we know they know we have a good A hit. So if they see the Viper thing, they might rotate early, they might commit bit more utility, so it's gonna rotate B. It's just it just rotates, honestly. And especially with the ice wall, it kind of blocks off their mid rotate. So they're forced to rotate either their spawn or our spawn.
Yeah, we use that rotates really effectively there. We saw you using a lot of those, you fake towards A and then rotating onto B, and multiple times being given a free site. They started to wise up towards the end there, leaving their players there, but that just meant that if you did go for that A take, it was all the more easier for you. Um, those rotates then, do they really, like, do you think Viper is essential to that, or do you think you could substitute in someone else and still have those convincing rotates in?
Other people just Viper, like you don't have to commit as much utility. You just have to commit Viper's utility compared to like two other operators. So she just kind of works better in this team.
It's that kind of permanency in that you have to
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't really move it back, or you have less utility if you don't go towards that Viper side. So yeah, I actually
exactly.
think that's a really interesting usage of it. The mind games
yeah.
really playing out there. So I mean, as a whole, um, I was kind of impressed with the way your defenses were. Could you tell me a little bit about what made you so strong on that B side? Because I mean, you just shut them down every time they tried to go there.
So B side is full of choke points. You got long and you got hookah. You ice off hookah, what can they do? They have to slow down and they have to go through the ice on the floor. That's easy headshots. And with long, we have the specific Viper wall that will come up if we need it. That goes from hookah and long, so they have to walk through a wall. And then obviously you got Hazy on long. He just hits heads. It's like if you can outfrag them, it makes it even easier.
Absolutely, it can. Thank you very much for joining us. Do you have anyone, so anywhere people can catch you or anything you want to plug?
Um, Look out for Brunel esports in a lot of like games like League of Legends, Siege, CS:GO, Valorant. Like we always seem to top really well, but a lot of people don't really recognize us as an esports university. So yeah, just look out for Brunel games.
Thank you very much. And obviously, thank you to you all at home for joining us here today. We will be back at the same time on Thursday. So try and join us for that one. Thank you again to Saina Root for joining us, obviously to my co-caster Anna, and to Harrison and Salty J working behind the scenes. Thank you all for a wonderful time tonight. We'll see you over on Thursday.